Is it diagnosed your ADHD, or you just started saying it?
No, I mean, it's pretty much diagnosed. I went to the doctors a few times for certain things because when I was out here, I had a pretty bad head injury, actually.
On the green hubba?
Yes,
Yeah.
green hubba, yeah. I got 5 staples to the back of my head. And
you were knocked out?
Yeah. It was like, I don't know how long I was knocked out for. Like, I basically just went off of, like, what Greg and Austin and them were saying, like, what happened. Really.
Wow, Greg fucking and
Mild
Austin
turnout,
used to live here, too.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was a crazy time. I don't even remember who else was with us. I just remember Greg and Austin being there, and, like, all I remember was, like, I didn't want to try it again because I was like, what I want to happen isn't happening. And I'm like...
What were you trying?
It was pedal 180, and I wanted to originally gap
to
over the sidewalk, but it's like kind of a far gap.
It's a gnarly gap,
out of a pedal grind.
Right.
And I didn't feel comfortable going super fast around that bend to get to it, to my switch side for the pedal.
Yeah.
So I was going kind of slow, and there was a few times where I like pedal 180'd and like landed on the sidewalk and kind of like half-ass cabbed off the curb. So they were like, oh, just do that. And I was like, it's not what I want, but fuck it. All right. Like, you know, and they're like,
it's always going to happen.
Give it another try. And I was like, all right. So the one time I like half-ass 180 out and just landed super back heavy on my back tire and just slung shot to my head.
God, yeah.
And I just wanted to fall asleep, and they were like, no, stay up. And like they threw me in the back of the car and drove me to Tempe St. Luke's. And
wow.
Yeah, I got 5 staples, and a week or 2 later, Christina was taking them out with pliers in the living room. Yeah. I was like, I'm not going back to the hospital, and I pulled one out by myself, and I was like, all right, that's not so bad. Like, here's the pliers. Like, take the rest out.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was just sitting there like weaseling them back.
Gang. I got 10 staples in my head.
We that's the thing. Yeah. I was thinking about
severe head injuries, severe head trauma throughout, but like knocking yourself out like that is pretty fucking gnarly. What were the repercussions, and how do you what does that have to do with your ADHD?
It fucked me up for a while, like how I process things. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, I noticed it. It took me a while to even notice it, but like I noticed that I was doing things slower, and like I wasn't able to focus on things as easily. That's when I started like really fucking bouncing back and forth between things. Like I couldn't just do one thing at a time, and it like fucked up my OCD pretty bad too, like to a point where I constantly started like telling myself like, oh, like I'm this little crack in the ground right here.
This is wrong.
Yeah, like I gotta hop at this crack, and if I can't hop at this crack, then like I can't do this, and like it started fucking me up like that to a point where even now I'll go back and like check a door 3 times to make sure I locked it, and like
damn.
My daughter even just said last week when I was leaving the store, she's like, why do you always have to go back in the store so many times before we leave? And I'm like,
sorry baby, I got OCD.
Like I have to, like, I gotta make sure I unplug this and make sure I lock this, and I forgot this in there because like I'm grabbing 10 things, and I gotta make sure I remember to grab that, and and I leave and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to grab that, and I'll go back in, and it's
I think a lot of people have that problem, the OCD. Is there something that you can do to like fix it or change it?
I don't fucking know.
Have you like talked to a psychologist or anything, or a psychiatrist?
No. I did talk to a psychiatrist at one point. Not necessarily about that stuff, but more just like mental health related things that I needed to talk about.
Like what? I want to know.
No, just a lot of stuff, like just normal life shit, my daughter, and like transitioning of like being a single dad at the time, and like that was a big thing. And then like my riding definitely at one point was like a weird thing for me, because like I had the head injury. I was filming this thing for BSD at the time, and then like eventually it was just like my head injury got to a point where it ate at me to a point where I was like, you know what, like I don't want to do this right now type of thing. And I told Grant Smith, I was just like, dude, like,
sorry, I give up right now.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, this is the footage I have right now. I'm not filming anymore right now. Like, I want to finish this project and move on to the next project. And like, if it's not a BSD video, it's not a BSD video. Like, I just don't want to like put myself in that spot right now.
Yeah.
And my daughter was just born at the time, and I was like,
that's a lot going on.
yeah. I just moved to Michigan. Like, I filmed a few clips there, and like that was the first few clips I filmed after the head injury that were like I felt good about. And there was like a few that I filmed with this dude Blake Yard, and yeah, I was like, okay, those are like some of the best clips I filmed in the past few years, like since the head
He's
injury.
back,
and like,
baby.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, okay, I got those clips in there now, mixed in with the other stuff that I had from here, and I was like, I'm calling it quits on this video. And
so what did you say to your psychiatrist? Like, hey, I feel like I'm giving up, or what was your mental health problem? Like, because like people have mental health problems. Let's talk about it.
No, it was it was just a lot to handle all at once. You know, like
yeah,
I said,
I can't even imagine, bro.
Yeah, my daughter was just born. I was like just moved to a whole new state and trying to figure out my life there, and like it was there was just so much going on to a point where I was just like super overwhelmed.
Yeah,
like I don't know how to handle this type of thing. And then I balanced that out, and yeah, it was when my daughter's mom and I were splitting and like handling that whole situation of like
gotcha.
how my daughter was going to be, and like, you know, with the whole situation. And
they were like, it's normal. People co-parent all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that big of a deal. You're making it a crazy big deal.
Yeah.
I should be a psychiatrist. Look at these glasses, dude. Talk to me, baby.
Thanks,
what do you want to
dude.
know?
You just fixed my problems.
Oh, shit.
But, no, it's
that's a lot. So did you move immediately after your head injury then?
Pretty much. It wasn't much longer, I don't think.
You're bringing back memories. I remember the like talk of Nick Seabasty's head injury was all over the place in Arizona.
Yeah, it was a fucked up day.
It's like one of those things like, did you hear about Nick? It's like, oh, shit. No. What happened? You know?
Yeah, there's I got severe whiplash, I remember, because the next day, like, I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I can't even move out of bed.
Damn.
And I didn't work for a few days because of it. I was like, I can't even move.
And it's so fucked up because it's just on a pedal grind 180, which is something like you do all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And that's what happened to Scotty. That's what happened to Mike.
Dude,
that's what happened to Drew.
That's when it happens.
I'm wearing a fucking helmet. I'm wearing a helmet, dude. Brain bucket gang.
Yeah. I still don't wear one. I should, but I should. But no,
we all should, dude. I was having that talk with my girlfriend, and I was trying to defend not wearing a helmet, and then I was just like, logically, there's literally no way to win this argument. Like, it's so dumb to not wear a helmet.
Yeah, no, it is really stupid. But I just can't do it. I've tried, and it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things where, like, if you start wearing a helmet when you're first riding, you can just do it. But like as time goes on, I feel like it just changes the way everything feels so much. I feel like you're so used to riding without one.
Yeah.
And then one day you put it on, it's like
you feel so free without it, for sure.
It feels so weird.
Yeah.
So after that it took a long time for me to get back into the swing of things. Making sure, like, I feel like even my equilibrium was kind of off on like how I looked at things.
Yeah.
And it definitely took me a while.
We've reached the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you want to support me and the podcast, just subscribe and share the show with your friends. The full episode is in the description, so if you haven't, go check that out. It's also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. And the goal is just to grow. So if you could share the show with your BMX homies, that'd be dope. Anybody that you know that is a BMX nerd and would enjoy this podcast, do me that favor, and we'll keep all these clips coming and one episode every week. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.